All right, I'm going to bring up my REPL over here. Now, if I'm going to create a class, I just need, where'd my little file thing go? Oh, I lost my file thing.
Delete the.
What?
Yeah,
there it is. Okay.
You were in the description.
Okay. Now, I want my class called number converter. So how would I write the class definition for a class called number converter? Anybody? I can do all this for you. You're going to have to help me.
Class number converter. Open the.
Open, close, parentheses, colon.
Don't need the parentheses.
You only need it when you call, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Oh.
So what this is doing, this is our class definition. Hence the word class, and then the name. Now, I want a constructor. So how do I create a constructor? Someone tell me. How do I start this thing?
Define it.
Underscore, underscore, sorry, define, underscore, underscore, INIT, underscore, underscore, underscore.
All right. Now, inside of here, we need something. What should I always be putting inside my parentheses when I'm working with classes? So, very good. Okay. So, referring back to the requirements of this program, I said when you create something, it should set current to something and set base to something. What is it supposed to be set to?
Set to 0 and set to 10.
So how do I set current to 0? Help me.
Current
Define and set current.
Come on.
Self dot.
Self dot. Underscore. Very good. Equals 0. How do I set base?
Self dot underscore base equals 10.
Okay, so what is this doing?
Setting
Setting
a
current
instance
base.
variable.
So I set current and I set base to a value. Now, I'm going to go down here a little bit. I'm going to go back to, now, remember last time we did this, we had two separate files. We had the file that was calling the class. Well, I'm going to show you how to do it all in one. Okay? At the same level of the class, you'll notice I'm at the same level of the C. So I'm going to call num1 equals number converter. Okay. What this is doing is it will now create an instance of the number converter class and assign it to the instance num1. Okay. Everybody see this? So when I run this, what do you think I'm going to get?
There. Or no.
Should I get an error? Should I get something?
It'll set the value to instance variables.
I don't think you'll get anything.
Yeah, you won't get anything, but it set the
I didn't
instance variable.
get anything, but I did something. I just didn't do anything to produce any output. Okay, now I told you there's a couple of methods you had to have. One of them was called print. So if we create the print method, we can at least see if we're actually doing anything. Okay, so how can I create a method called print? First of all, what line number where should I put this?
The same column as def.
Same column as def, but what line number? Line 5. Man, somebody's real good today. Okay, so I'm going to go over here to def. So how do I define print?
Yeah.
Okay.
Could you do that with print? Since you're naming it the same thing as the function.
Sure.
Okay.
Yep.
There's a class function how to.
Right. Yeah, it's called overloading, kind of.
I mean, that's just kind of.
Now, I want to print out current, and I want to print out base. So how can I do this?
Print current base.
I can say print current. So how do I print out current now?
Give it the underscore value current. Or no,
I want to reference the instance variable current. Yes, I must use self.current. Okay? So now I'm going to run this again. Darn it, I still got nothing
It's because you didn't use the print function.
because I didn't call the print function.
Or
Very
method.
good.
Print method.
So how can I call the print method?
Non-document.
So remember, line 9. This says declare me an instance called num1, which is equal to an instance of the number converter class. Okay? Then line 10, I'm saying num1, which is my instance, print, which is the method of that class.
So you haven't instantiated it until line 9 by declaring the class in 1 through 6. That's not the instantiation. in
Correct.
Python.
Line 9 is the instantiation of it. Line 1 through 6, that's the declaration of the class. Haven't done anything yet. Okay, so now when I run this, I should get something now. I got current is equal to 0. Is that correct?
Yeah.
How do we know it's correct?
We haven't
Because you
incremented
said
anything?
because you said current equal to 0.
So I said current equals 0. Okay, so can I test it? What if I change this over here to 50? Now I got 50. So now when I run it, what should I get? I should get 50. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Nice. Super critical when writing this stuff. You test it. Because yeah, 0 was correct, but what if I'd written something wrong? Okay. So we know that is working. But I want to make this a little bit better. I want to be able to make a new variable down here called num2 number. Okay, so num2 is going to be another instance of this class. But I want to make it so, you know how the first one automatically assigns 0 over 10? I want to be able to specify in the constructor the current and the base. So I want to be able to pass it a 5 base 8.
So you make 2 arguments and the constructor.
How do I manipulate my constructor to accept 2 arguments? We did cover it Monday. Anybody?
Oh, just add another position argument into the constructor.
Add a positional argument into the instructor up here. And let's call it, what do you think? Maybe current? Will that do it?
No,
Yeah.
not the underscore current.
And maybe base.
Yeah.
So like that. So now we have the right number of arguments.
Well, you meant that way. Okay.
But I'm going to just print this now, see what we get.
You can do an error. Start to the error.
Give me an error.
I get on there.
But
It's because the underscores?
no.
Yeah, the actual self.values are underscored. Does that matter for the arguments?
Hold on, what did I type wrong? Make sure I typed it right. Because there's something we're missing, but it should still work without it. That's what I'm wondering.
Well, you're using a.
Oh, aha, yes, yeah, okay. Now, we covered something on Monday where we talked about default values, okay? Right now on line 9, I'm saying num1 is equal to number converter with no arguments. On line 12, I'm saying num2 is num converter with 5, 8. So I'm passing in 2 arguments. My constructor on line 2, how many arguments is it looking for?
3.
3 or 2?
3.
Technically 2. Because remember, self is always required. Self is basically saying the instance, or me, or wherever you're running it from. So how can I make it so that it'll work with both 2 arguments and no arguments? Well, we did it Monday. I'll help you. I'll be nice. I can actually say current is equal to 0, What that's going to tell it is if the first argument other than self has been declared, good, we'll use it. If it has not been declared, give it a 0. Okay?
So we're just basically restating the variables in the thing. So current equals 0, base equals 10.
Yes. But then down here, we need to get rid of this 0 and 10 and put current.
Oh, I understand.
Okay? You with me? This is a little different the way Python does this. So now on line 9, when I call it, there's no arguments. Okay? So what's going to happen is on line 2, you go there, well, he didn't give me the first argument, so give it a 0. He didn't give me the second argument, so give it a 10. So we get down to line 12, say, he gave me both arguments. So instead of current being equal to 0, current will be equal to 5. Instead of base being equal to 10, base will be equal to 8. Isn't that awesome? So now it's running.
Okay.
Ta-da! And did it work?
Kind of.
So the first one said current is 0.
That's because you're not printing. Okay.
So line 10, I said current is 0. So was that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Correct, because at line 10, remember we use the default constructor. So it actually received 0, 10, just like your requirements say. So when we printed it out, we got 0. So then in line 12, we actually passed it a different value, which I did not include on your requirements, by the way. I had it there, then I removed it, but you're welcome to leave it. I think it's pretty handy. So on line 13 now, we're actually receiving it. But I want to make sure that we're actually setting current and base. So I'm going to change this one up just a little bit. I'm going to go to my print, and I'm going to say current set to, and that should tell me what current is set to, okay? So I'm going to run it again. So now I know my current is set to 0, my current is set to 5. How can I output my base as well?
You just put print base set to
Exactly.
comma self underscore.
Base set to, oh, I got a spelling error. Somehow I lost the T there.
Why
Nope. Okay,
I sound a different one.
because I shrunk my screen. So yeah, my screen's not wide enough. It's just because my screen's smaller, that's all.
That's gonna put it all on one.
It should all be on one line. Oh, look at that. So on line 10, now you'll notice line 6, even though my screen is narrower, all that's line 6. So on line 10, it now called current set to, and it print out the current, base set to, print out the base. So that's why I got 0, 10. And then on line 13, I got 5, 8. So you see, I do have 2 different instances, and they're both working beautifully. So far, so good? Everybody with me?
Yep.
See how easy this is? Gotta admit, this is kind of simple.
For now.
It's simple
Just print
the way you're
statements.
explaining it.
Well,
I
I'm
don't think I
trying to
would've gotten
explain it
this far.
really well, so that when you're going to work on some of this on your own,
I definitely would not have known that top line where current equals 0, base
yeah,
equals 0.
I know we covered
I
it
wouldn't
Monday,
know.
and I verified we did cover it Monday, but I was like, did anyone catch it? So that's why I removed it from the requirement, because it literally was typed in there. But then I figured I'd show it to you again today. The reason is I needed this a while back, so I had to figure out how to do it. This is a few months ago. I'm like, there's got to be a way to give it a default value, because this is awesome. It's just, I can give it with one parameter, or I can literally give it just one. I can literally call it with the 5 and it would work. Okay. Now, I need to have some sort of, actually, we got P. Yeah, I need a menu. Just like in your requirements, I need some sort of menu. So how can I create a method to do a menu? I can define menu. Very good. Now, technically, the menu doesn't need to be part of the class. I could literally put the menu down here at the bottom.
Yeah, I was like,
But I'm going to put the menu part of the class. That way I can keep calling it over and over and over and over very easily. Okay. Okay.
Why do we need a menu all of a sudden? Is it just part of the?
Because if you read the requirements, I want to be able to hit H, O,
That menu needs to
B,
be done.
D, C, you know. Okay. So I want a menu that's going to print out. Actually, do I want to print in the menu? How did I do it a minute ago? I want it to return a menu. So I want to return something. Okay. In this case, I'm going to return set.
Is there a reason why you did double quote?
Yep. Okay. What I did was I want, oh, sorry, I put the quote in the wrong spot. Actually, I'm going to show you what this does. I'm going to get down here. I'm going to call menu first. Actually, I'm going to try to call menu here. Is it going to work? Can I do that?
No more menu? Yeah.
I want
You can do
10.
it, but nothing's gonna come up
yeah, it's not gonna.
There's really nothing happening, so.
until you return it from a print statement.
Well, are you sure I can run this though?
No more is not defined.
Why can't I do that? Why
Oh,
is
'cause
line 10
it's
giving me
a-
an error?
It's about the number.
It's above the declaration. I have not even declared num1 at this point. So in line 10, I'm saying num1 menu. It's like, huh? I don't even know what num is.
What's that?
Line 11 is where I'm actually defining num1 and instantiating an object to it. So I really need to move that one after it.
Genius.
Okay, now we should be able to do something. Now, what did you say a second ago, William?
I said a couple of things.
Why did it do nothing?
You're not printing it.
I'm not printing nothing.
Yeah, sorry.
So now I can say, how do I convert line 11 since the function or the method returns a value? How do I convert line 11 to print that?
Method chain it?
I can method chain it or
You can return a string. Or
just print it.
Why is it saying it's out of the function? What? Doesn't it mean backwards?
Oh, yeah, you
Look at that.
do the class rather than one.
So what I did was I just called print. I printed the menu.
That's it.
Okay? So there's lots of different ways. We could have done methodal chaining, but this way is pretty simple.
Can we not just inherit? I mean, doesn't Python have in its primitive class the way to go between different bases? Could we not just inherit
Yes.
from that primitive class?
You
What we're
can,
doing
yes.
here?
You can very easily convert between different bases.
Okay.
That's what I said. You really could make one method that is all of them super easily. I just,
Have we got into inheritance yet? Okay.
I'm going to copy or comment out those other ones just so we can see for sure that it's really doing my menu correctly. And it is. How can I get it so the menu, like the requirements, actually, let me show you the requirements here.
You put it on separate ones.
I want that menu right there.
Put it in line.
Okay. How do I get a new line?
\n.
Where?
In front of your.
Right there?
Yep.
And get rid of the comma?
Mhm.
Okay, let's try it now. Very nice. Okay, what else can the menu say?
Binary.
Binary, hex, octal, decimal. So I can really go over here and do /n. Binary, /n. And the reason I'm putting the single quotes around it is, so on the menu, you'll know which letter to hit. Make sense? If you were a user looking at this, would you know to hit B for binary?
Yeah,
I would hope so. Hope so. We can only hope. Okay. So we need octal now.
I would get it with parentheses more so than I would. But
Okay, let's do one with parentheses. Actually, can I do that?
I mean, you don't have to hope. You could just put a statement above it that says,
Yeah, please enter whatever. I'm just gonna go. I'm going with that one because that's what the requirements say. Octal decimal. Well, I didn't do that one right, did I? Nice. I also need to quit. Anybody liking this?
yeah.
Pretty easy, isn't it? And see, the cool thing is we're editing the method for menu. We can just call it as many times as we want. Just going to keep doing it. Okay. Now, how can I make a loop that keeps displaying the menu
While
and continues until, okay, a while loop. Very good. All right. So I'm going to put it right in here somewhere. While what?
well, Q isn't.
you need to put like a user input.
I need some sort of something to check if it's equal to Q. How about
Input.
maybe select?
Sure.
How do I say is not equal to Q?
What is select?
Exclamation point equal sign.
Select doesn't do anything yet.
Okay.
I haven't written that yet.
It's
I
a
just-
variable. Okay.
It's just going to be a variable.
I was like, what does select do?
Could you just do while input?
See, I could do while true,
Don't forget
but then
your
I would
colon.
have to have, if a Q is entered, have to break.
Don't forget your colon.
But here I can also do select. I actually could call the menu, I think.
Why would you do that?
Actually, that wouldn't work.
No,
we don't want to
your
do that.
type conversion isn't going to.
Yeah, we don't want to do that one yet.
Go back to a string.
Yeah, let's go back to a string. All right. So while select is not equal to Q. So how can I get input for this menu now?
You would have to input statement.
Yeah.
So maybe select equals input. Input what? What's inside of input?
Enter something.
Press Q to quit.
Why not that?
Yeah, that can work.
Oh,
I'm just commenting this other stuff out since we don't need it at the moment. Just commented it out. So will that work? Let's try it. Okay, let's hit S. Okay, let's hit D. Let's hit Q.
Select is not defined.
Did it work?
Oh, whoops.
No.
Well, let's look. I hit S up here.
Oh, yeah.
And display the menu.
Why don't you put a new line after quit?
There you go. You need some sort of new line. I think we should put a new line right here. And I would put a like that. I'll show you why. That way when I run this, say I do S D Q like that. I could also say something like enter your choice, but that's the way I put in the requirements. I figured I'd just leave it like that. Is everyone with me so far?
I have an issue because it's saying it's not.
Because you didn't define select on line 11.
Yeah.
Do you have a line 11 on yours?
Mhm.
Like this?
Yeah, line 11. Yeah.
And then you have that?
Oh,
He didn't
I didn't do the default.
So you didn't have line 11, did you?
No, I wasn't looking at your screen. Sorry, I thought you were asking in the error code.
I knew exactly what you were missing. I knew it. All right.
And that's just setting it equal to an argument, correct?
Right. What this is saying is select is equal to nothing. Because without line 11, it's going to be like, well, select is not equal to Q. I didn't have no clue what you're talking about. So now it's saying it equals nothing. Well, it's not equal to Q. So at this point, it's not equal to Q. So we really could have made it equal to 5, and it would have been fine. And this way, we're going to get input. And now we can do something. So I want to do something. I want to print out.
You do that slide of wire.
I want to call the print function. So how can I make a method? When I hit C, I want to call print. How do I do that?
If select.
Yeah,
Do what?
uh,
Print? Will this work without num1? Let's just try it. It shouldn't. It's really doing nothing. It's not doing nothing.
It's just doing the print state. Print
We'll
function.
pass it something.
Well, I shouldn't have to pass it anything.
it should be programmed.
Actually, can I do this? This is the test. I have no idea if this will work. I've never tried this. Yeah, okay, that's the memory location of it. Okay. So really it needs to be this way.
Yeah,
Oops.
don't want that print.
Remember print,
So
when I just say print by itself, it was really just the regular string print method with nothing.
So you
So
want to
now-
hard code it to like num1?
You can call it whatever you want.
But do you want people should we find it's hard coded or?
Yeah, you can hard code it this way. It's just an instance. So if I do C now, what do I get? Whoa. Working. How does if I hit
someone got
H? Nothing. If I hit C again?
Nothing.
Oh no, C should work. That's the only thing that should work.
that's weird.
Just execute.
Besides,
It's just red. It's weird.
Oh,
I don't know why it does.
all right. So far, so good.
So what's the logic of creating a method that's already part of the DOM or the DOM? I mean, like print is should already be part of.
busted.
I mean,
It's
is that
just
just
run.
part of the
So
assignment?
the
just for
reason
the
I wanted to
sake?
do that was I don't want to have to type this whole string out again every time.
Uh-huh.
I just wanted to, I mean, you really could have just returned that whole string every time. But I just, since we're working with classes, just make another method to do it, that's all. In the real world, I probably would not have made the method as part of the class because it really doesn't pertain to the instance of the class. But to this thing, I think it'll work out okay. Okay, so we need to be able to convert to hex. Actually, you know what? Before we convert to hex, well, yeah, we're going to convert to hex next. But I need to pass it a number. I want to pass it, let's do 16, so 10. I'm just changing, so we got 16 and 10. So when I run this thing and I print it out, I just want something other than a 0 in there. So I just passed it an argument, 16 and 10. So now when I print it out, I actually get current is set to 16, base is set to 10. We need to work on the hexadecimal because that's the one that takes a little bit of work. You only have a few minutes. Okay, so how do I make a method that converts to hex?
Line context.
I want to build a function called hex.
Oh, that's too easy.
Oh.
Wait, are you saying we can't do that?
You can,
Okay.
but
Did I ruin it?
there's always a but. When you output it, I want it in 2 decimal places, uppercase. And if you just call hex, let's do what you want to do. Let's just print out hex. Print. Let's print out hex dot current. This should not give it in the format that I want. I'm missing something.
It definitely does.
What am I missing? Oh, hold on. I got to hit Q over and start my code. There it goes. Let's print out hex.
You can't, because you're not calling it in your menu.
Oh, hold on. I got to fix my menu. Good point. If
Yeah.
Get a H. Then one dot.
okay,
Contact.
all right, keep on hitting F5. Uh-oh. What did I just do?
Don't look at me.
Broken.
I hit F5. Control Z.
Stopping.
Okay, let's go hex.
0 by 10.
That's nice. I want it in 2 decimal places, uppercase. So to prove that it actually, let's make sure, I'm going to change this to 18. Oh, let's quit this again. Let's make sure it's actually doing hex correctly. 12. Okay, now I'm going to change it down to, let's go to 14. I'm just trying a couple different values. 0xe, not quite what I want. Okay, so what they said was, hey, we already got a built-in method called hex, which you are totally free to use. But you have to format the number, okay? You can still use this, but it'll take some string manipulation to do it. But when we call convert hex, you need to do other stuff as well. Let's look at what we need to do. Okay, so each conversion method should take current, convert it to the desired base, set the base to the new base, and output the converted number. So it needs to do a couple more things. So let's work on this. I'm going to comment out this other line because I'm just not a fan of that one at the moment. Okay, what hex should do, since I already wrote it, let's make sure I'm on the right line here. I can find my code. There it is. I want it to tell me it's actually working. So I'm going to print out hex conversion. There's a typo in my thing. Hence, hex conversion commencing. I always love that. Isn't that awesome? Let's check it out. Nice. Okay, so now that's working. Now we need to convert it. So now we're going to print out converting. I don't know. Need to convert what it currently is. Okay.
You forgot the colon next space.
Remember this one?
The base of just before self dot base. There's
Converting
semicolon or a colon.
base. That's correct.
Don't worry about it then.
Let's see what it looks like. Hex. Converting 14 base 10 to base 16. Converting, yeah, that's close enough. So have we done anything to the numbers at this point?
No.
No, we're just outputting them.
I said I would.
Okay, so we were going to. So now we need to set current to the new value. So in this case, we say self dot current equals something. Now, type this exactly like I tell you. Actually, I'm going to type it. Well, okay, I guess you can see it here. Okay. Format, int, string, format. That should do it. And I really can't get this to display it any easier for you. I think I got the right number of parentheses.
You can get rid of that stuff on the left.
How do I get rid of stuff on the left? Oh, just drag it over.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to make sure this works. Let's see if it actually does something. Keep forgetting to quit my code.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, converting it. So what's my current now? Oh, it actually did work. Because what I did was I hit H to convert to hex. Then after it was done, I hit C, and you'll see now my current is set to 0E. Still not correct. We're not totally done, but at least it's partially working. So everybody see what we did there?
So what data type is it then?
At this point, I haven't changed the base at all. What I did was this whole format string says output this string, converting it to an integer based on base 16, but output it in hex with 2 decimal places. So I didn't change it. I just output it, but then I assigned it also to current. So current got assigned 0E. Format is a very handy command for changing the format of a string or a number, bases included. So now what we need, I need to set my base to 16. How do I do that?
Self dot
Underscore base equal 16.
Okay, so if I do that correctly, when I run this, and I print current, so if I convert to hex, and now I print current, or because now you're actually getting current is set to 0E, base is set to 16. But whenever we do this, I also want to know what the current is set to. Now, I could state current is set to blah, 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 or I could call the print method. Could I call print method from inside of a method?
Yeah.
Sure, I can.
You do that quick.
It's called num1.print. Now, if I convert it to hex, wow, it automatically did it for me. Isn't that nice? Okay, so we printed hex conversion commencing, we converted it, we set current to the new hexadecimal value, then we set our base to 16, and then we printed it out again.
So you wouldn't actually do line 14. I mean, you wouldn't really want to hard code num1 in a class.
No, I would not want, you're right.
Okay.
You know what? Hold on. I think I can fix that.
I think you can self it.
I'm pretty sure I can self it. You're right. You're right. I would not want to put num1 there, but I think that'll work.
I mean, that defeats the point of a class.
Yeah. Yes, it does. Okay. Yeah. So just put self there instead of num1. Glad you for catching that.
Which one?
On line 14, I had num1.print. That was wrong. You need to put self there. I wasn't even thinking. Okay.
Because that would change the whole
Right.
the instance variable.
How are you getting it set to 0E?
That is
Line 12.
line 12.
Okay.
Okay, what line 12 is doing is it says self.current is now being assigned a new value. It's being assigned, working from the inside out. I took the current, converted it to a string. Then I took that string and that base, you converted it to an integer, because int will do that for you. You can specify a string and a base, and then you can format that. And the 0 to X tells me 2 decimal places, and the X means hexadecimal uppercase.
Okay.
If I had done a small X,
So
what-
the X is the key
yes,
flag there, all right.
yes it is. If I'd gone with a small one, watch what it does. Hex. Now you'll see it's a lowercase e.
Okay, but I did that and it's not popping up with 0E.
What are you getting?
I don't know.
So that one, and you know, 'cause you will be doing this in another class if you're a cyber major.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
just getting 10.
is it credit?
Then you not set your base.
Except for stuff that I'm doing this. How do you do option?
And you call it self-print. Yeah, looks like it should work. Okay. Do you have line? You have 13, 14, and 15 all in there? I'm sorry, 12, 13, and 14? Is everybody else working okay?
I had to reset mine. It wasn't working, so once I reset the web page, it started working.
Well, they're doing it idle. It should be working. Probably she is. We're about out of class time.
Oh, you know why it might not be working in yours is because in Python 2, you can't do input. You have to do raw input. And on line
Are
20,
you in Python 2 or Python 3?
well, if she's in idle, it's going to, I don't know.
No, it should be in print. Are you using print with a parenthesis?
So we're out of time.
Yeah, that's 3.16. And that tells me there's something wrong with your.
That copy. That's above actually. Look.
I don't know, you gotta have something wrong.
That's why I'm like, it's
Because
literally.
you're setting the base. In print, you have self inside of print right there,
Yeah.
under print.
Colons there?
Yeah.
And you have self print, you have self base with 2. They all have 2 underscores.
Yeah. Every one of them.
You have the right number of closing parentheses?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. All right, I pretty much finished the whole assignment. I need you to add something else to it.
All we need to do is set base now, right?
You have to finish the S. Hold on, I'm gonna show you what you need to fix. When I hit S, it's not doing anything.
Cool.
When I hit S, I want it to come up and ask me if I'm setting the current or the base, and need to be able to handle both of those.
Okay. That works.
It's not that much work.
Nope.
Okay? And I would love to see you guys maybe do octal.
We'll see.
Wouldn't be hard. I literally gave you hex.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Octal just
Could you possibly guess what you would replace the X with?
Oh.
Wow, an O. How'd you guys figure that one out? Oh, that's tough. Now you see why you literally could have one method that does all of them.
Yeah. Kinda. Just because you could do multiple ones.
I don't know, it's got to be something little like that.
I'll go back over it.
Okay, because I actually wrote this in idle.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Can't give you this. It's got all the everything else on it.
It's got to see all the everything else.
What about the first page? Is the first page everything?
Yeah, you need some of this. I will give you. I'll give you the convert hex. Okay.
Okay.
If I can get this up here. Let me stop my recording here.
Where's the optical text?